Hey there, so today we have another video, and here I'm going to be reviewing the greatest meal I've ever had in my life. So please stick with me. This is very special. Where did I have the greatest meal of my life? At Goldie's Barbecue. Let's preface this and then we'll dig into the food real quick. So what is Goldie's Barbecue? They are relatively new, run by some younger pit masters who've worked at some of the greatest barbecue places in all of Texas. And Texas Monthly, which is a magazine that produces a list of the best barbecue places in Texas, put Goldie's last year as number one. And so that's quite special. I went there today, waited 3 hours online, got there about over an hour before they opened. It took about 3 hours to get food, but I don't wait in line, and I'm very excited that I actually did. I took a few bites of it, didn't feel like eating barbecue, but I'm back, and I'm going to review it for you guys in front of you guys. What do we have here? So obviously the number one thing we're going to try. What do we have here on the plate? Well, actually, there's a few more things I'm missing. Missing a few of these guys. So I'm trying to make myself a little spread for you. Try to make it a little bit more appetizing. Some pickles. So what do we have here? We have our pork rib. We have some cheesy grits. We have pork hash. We have some house-made pickles. We have a brisket and some house-made sausages. So obviously, number one, we're going to dig into the brisket. Yeah, it's my birthday today. Didn't even go out last night just so that I could wake up early and get myself some brisket. So this brisket is a very thick cut. I guess you can see that now. It's very thick cut. I thought I could cut off a bite that I could even have, but that's too much. Really wonderful bark development on that. Yeah, wow, look at that. That just melts in your mouth. That just melts in your mouth. Great bark. Get that really nice kind of like crust on the outside. And it just melts in your mouth. It's absolutely delicious. Like, my God. I've had some good barbecue down here, brisket down here, but this guy has got to be the best. The opposite is like really thinly cut dry stuff. They don't mess around with cutting it thick. They have no problem doing that. And the fat is perfectly rendered. There is tons and tons of smoke flavor rocked into this brisket. It doesn't even need sauce. It's so good. Unbelievable brisket. We're going to the next bite. So this is house-made sausage. Let's see. So they're making it in house, proper skin and everything. This is a slice of it. There's a fun little trick in here, and I think they had throw mustard seeds in there because there's a popping. So not only do you get the really wonderful textural complex of the contrast of the, intestines, the skin that they're using as the casing, the snappy casing, the soft inside, and then it has like pops of mustard that are like popping in your mouth. So it's like really wonderful textural contrast going on over there. This is like the most delicious hot dog you've ever had, if that's a compliment. It's so much, so much. I think it's pork. I assume it's pork, but pork slash beef probably. Beef. I think it's beef. I don't know. Actually, no. There's so much meat flavor in here. It's not like a jalapeno cheddar sausage where it's like bells and whistles. It's very classic, and I think it's beef. It's so meaty. Like the savoriness is very intense. Well seasoned. I like the amount of salt content in here. It's very, very tasty. We're gonna dig into this guy. Here is a pork rib. So pork rib. I mean, look at that. Look at the bark on that guy. Really nice. Let's see. Oh, I guess we'll go from this end then. Wow. Tender, succulent. The pepper on the bark on the top is just absolutely fantastic. It doesn't really fall off the bone like baby food, so it's like actually this piece does. This piece a little bit fall off the bone. The other piece that I had was not. And then I'm actually gonna mess around with this. So this is their barbecue sauce, and let's see the little barbecue sauce in there. Oh, their barbecue sauce is so freaking good. It's a really nice combination of like sweet, mustardy, a little bit ketchupy, but it's a little bit acidic too, which is quite nice. Tons of like coarse ground black pepper in there, and then if you go on YouTube, you actually find out one of the pitmasters, Jerby. He gives away all the secrets, like just the recipes, everything, like just process of making all his food. And there's actually a Chinese ingredient here. It's like a really, 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 really dark soy sauce, and it gives this thing just so much umami. It's absolutely crazy. I'm just dollop a little bit extra on there. Boy, with even with the extra savory, like barbecue sauce, just so good. Barbecue sauce is absolutely phenomenal. Let's try some of their house made pickles. I think some pieces actually deal with it. Good pickles, quite sour, nice balanced sweetness. It's actually pretty interesting. They've cut it very thin. Yeah, they've cut it very thin. The other good thing is that there's a really nice crunch here. Some pickles they let go really long and they get like a little soggy, like like the texture's not like fresh. This has a freshness to it, which is quite nice. And the onions, I don't know how the onions is actually. How the onions is. That's one thing that's like fine. I think you can only do so much with with onions. So yeah, that's just standard. But that comes with a lot of barbecue places. They give you pickles, house made pickles, and onions. Onions generally are like that was just raw, right? They might have like blanched soaked them in a little water just to get rid of a little bit of that onion flavor. But that I don't think that was necessarily pickled. It was just pretty much like just white onion. All right. So what do we have here? We got their cheesy grits. Cheesy grits. Let's try this guy out. So good. So not coming from the south, I'm not like I didn't grow up like eating grits, but really what this reminds me is polenta, which I mean, I guess it's pretty much like Italian grits. It's first off got a nice kick to it. It's spicy, like it's mild to medium spicy, but it's spicy. But it's got a lot of cheese in it. Beautiful, just creamy texture, and it really tastes like like the polenta dishes that I've made for myself in the past. Yeah, it's packed with cheese and savoriness. It's got a lot of. It's well seasoned. It's really well seasoned. I like the level of salt that they put on this guy. Really nice. And then this one over here is called a pork hash. So it literally is just like regular Chinese takeout rice, like short grain rice, and then it's like pulled pork, but they've added like vinegar and seasoning to it. So it is not a traditional barbecue side, but it's so tasty. What I like about it is there's an elevated amount of acidity here. With all the savory and salty and smoky food, it's really nice to have a side that's like a little bit cleansing. The hash itself is probably not edible by itself because it's just so sour. But you put it with the rice and tampers it down a little bit, and then you put it with the meal and it's tampered down even more. So it's just creamy, like pork, like it's like if you just got pulled pork and just mashed up even more and then seasoned it, and it's well seasoned. I don't know what else is in there, but it definitely tastes a lot of vinegar. So it's like just this really nice kind of like sharpness that gives you pops of like flavor. Absolutely delicious. What else do we have here? This one didn't have to heat up. So this one is their potato salad. Potato salad we got going on over here. Let's see this guy. There, you, there's no way you've ever had a potato salad this good. It's absolutely just stupid. Like I don't know what is in here that makes it so good. Because I know for a fact there's egg. There's a little bit of red onion. There might be some white onion in there, just red onion in general. The potatoes are cut just like diced up, just in a perfect like. They're not overly creamy, so it's not like mashed potatoes, but they're not overly too chunky. Like I don't see anything like larger than the size of like small tiny pebbles. It's got some scallion in there. It's just like the texture and the it's just perfect. Like there's just right amount of salt. There's just a right amount of vinegar, and it's both creamy and chewy and crunchy and I don't know, man. I really wish I could make this, and I don't know how to. Like, it's so like it's freaking potato salad, which is like such a boring and like whatever dish for most people. But I'm telling you, it is so good. Another point to mention again, the acidity, the hash of the elevated acidity. This has, I feel, a little bit more acid than most people would expect from potato salad. Just a little bit. Just, again, pairs well with the rest of your food. I mean, you're gonna have a little bit of like acidic potato salad to really round out and balance everything. Unreal good. And then the piece de resistance. What's this? What's this? So I don't know if you guys go to barbecue places, but generally they just give you like bagged white bread that like is just as bad or just as boring as Wonder Bread. It's super bland. It really does very little for the dish or like for your meal. Sort of like an afterthought. It helps maybe clean up the palate a little bit because like it's just like plain bread. They make their own bread, and it's so special that they actually don't allow you to get more or buy more. They only bake so much. I assume that's it. There's no more. So like for my meal, they gave me like 3 4 slices, and let me tell you, this bread, even the bread is so good. It's so what this really tastes like is like almost like challah, and it tastes a little bit like Japanese milk bread. If you've had those, it really is your dessert. Like for a guy that's not into sweets, this is like your dessert. It's so supple and just like like fluffy, and it just has this perfect amount of sweetness and has nothing, it has no flavor relevant to like white bread. Honestly, I don't know. Sorry, what I do with this bread outside of like have it with the barbecue. It probably makes some really good peanut butter jellies. It probably makes some good French toast. But I don't think it's just like airy. It's just so airy. And the crumb, yeah, that's what you can see. The crumb is way larger than Wonder Bread. Like it just it's fluffier area. There's less density to the bread. I would just have that as my dessert for the meal. That's how good the bread is. That's just how good the bread is. Like, and there you go. I covered it. That's the greatest meal I've had in my life. Everything is made to perfection. First off, the value's insane. Like, I spent about $50, and I ate some earlier. I'm eating some now, and then I'm bringing the rest back all the way to Florida. There's the amount of food I ordered. There's enough for like 3 people. The amount of you get 3 sides of a huge sausage, and then a pound of half pound of brisket, half pound of ribs. That's enough for 3 people easily. Yeah, and like for $50, like that's like $17 a head. Um, yeah, for world class, like blows me away. And it's these are simple things. I mean, seasoning, salt, pepper, smoke, like, but like it's the art of like making barbecue. Um, but it's not only the meat; it's like the bread is so freaking good, and the sides. Like, I turned 34 today, and I've never had potato salad that good. I've never had it that good. It just never tasted that good. And the barbecue sauce. I mean, like barbecue sauce is sometimes an afterthought. I've had some good barbecue sauces down here. This one's got to be one of my favorites. The brisket doesn't get better. Just everything's good. Like everything's amazing here. So and then that unique rice pork hash thing. Like guys, you got to go. Like yeah, I mean you check it out on YouTube. There's definitely other content creators that have reviewed the food here, but it's just unbelievable. Um, and I've had some tasty fine dining restaurants. Been to some tasty fine dining restaurants and all that fun stuff, and I've had some awesome meals. But this is just first off, it's Texas barbecue, which is unbelievable. I love the simplicity of the just how it's made, and it's just time, art, and patience, and the ability to learn how to smoke those meats. So I'm not gonna be able to recreate that at home. The pork hash, I'm sure I could look up. I mean, that's just white rice, and the pork hash should probably create something like that, like get some kind of pulled pork and season it up. So that's doable. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do sausage, not gonna be able to do ribs, not gonna be able to do brisket. The cheesy grits, I think that's recreatable. again, I've made some very tasty polenta before that sort of like imitates that. But the potato salad, I don't know, like it's. I mean, I could try. It definitely takes some trials to really get like just everything so well seasoned. That's one thing I like about this place. Everything is just perfectly seasoned. I love where everything sits. I find that sometimes on barbecue places, they can go a little salty, a little bit just like overwhelming as a meal. Like but the attention to detail on the acidity levels on like a couple dishes here. I love where the saltiness sits on that grits because those grits can really just be under seasoned and they season it just right. Um, Everything's just freaking phenomenal. This is unbelievable. If you guys ever make it out to Dallas Fort Worth, it's Fort Worth really. Fort Worth, it's like 25 minutes southeast, 20 minutes southeast of the city. Check it out. It is listed as #1. I'm curious what the new list gives, but I'd be hard pressed to imagine someplace able to beat the food of this quality. So obviously they thought so last year. So the best meal of my life, and I had it on my birthday. Absolutely fantastic. Cheers, guys. This was tasty. Later.